Hello, I am Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is my February 2024 plan with me. So, we're starting off with my monthly calendar, and for the month of February, I decided to go with a Mario theme for my year of doing different game themes for my spreads. And coming up with the lettering was probably one of the hardest things to do because the lettering for the title of that game is very difficult, so it took a while to figure out how to do it and make it look good. So first thing I did was draw out my letters, do my calendar, and my little key box. Then it was also adding all of my other line work for the little decorations I did on the little cover page here. It's a very simple layout, but it works. Then the main colors I used are the ones that are in like the Super Mario title screen. So the colors are kind of in a specific pattern, and I was trying to keep track of where I was throughout all of my big headers for the month. But I want to apologize right here while I'm coloring in everything in the back of saying sorry that this took so long to get out. There's been a lot of mental health things going on and health things, so I tried to get things done when I could, and well, it's middle of June and February is finally coming out, but it's at least happening. So I drew a quick little cloud in and then colored in the little hills from like the original Super Mario games that I played when I was little, and I haven't played them much since then. But then it was filling in my calendar, which was quick and easy because I wasn't taking too much time to decorate that. And then filling in my key with the usual topics that I go over. A lot of the colors that I ended up using for this theme all relate to some of the main characters from the Mario games or the Mario universe. So just looking at the colors, you can see and kind of figure out, alright, which characters would some of these fit with and where would they make sense. Quick, simple, and that's what I wanted for February. So as for my monthly log, starting off the same way as I did with February, which was sketching out the header for the page. So one of the things I decided I was going to do is print part of the header titles, because if I would have kept with the font, it would not have looked as well through the whole thing, and I would have had to figure out how to make it fit on the 2 lines and take up extra space. So I just did what I could. But for the game decoration on this page, I decided to put a cloud and then one of the vines that Mario can climb up of, coming out of a box that got hit. So, keeping with the simple designs and making it work. And then with the letters, I am continuing the pattern that I started, and I did that throughout the entire month. So after I had all the letters colored in, it was just adding the vine and the box, giving them some color. Next is my goals and things and habit tracker pages. Usually I like to divide these out to have them be separate sections in my video, but that didn't happen this time because of what I ended up doing with my habit tracker. So, first things first, I went and did the headers for both. My camera decided to be stubborn, and then I decided to put my key in for my habit tracker. I decided to use the POW buttons, just giving them different colors, and each color represented something, and it was something different to try. I don't know if I would do it this way ever again, but I had to look back, see what color order I did my letters in, so that way I could bring that over for these header letters. And in all fairness, this is probably the easiest part of this entire spread for both of these pages. And you will soon see why. So on the POW buttons, I gave them all a gray little base, and then I went in with the colors. And in the game, when you jump on these buttons, the little blocks of these color turned solid. So my thought was, I'm gonna make little unsolid blocks of each color, and as I did that habit, I would color that block in completely. Well, that did not go so well. I will admit that right now. Like, for the first day or two, I did fine, but then I became slightly overwhelmed, got sick, a lot of stuff happened, and all of this work here ended up not getting used. But that's life. Things happen. The initial goal with this is I was going to draw a line in between each day, like a black line, so I knew this set of unfilled boxes are this day and going on. once I joined to the second page, I started to make some minor mistakes that ended up making everything way more confusing and making especially the end of this tracker difficult to use, which the fact I didn't end up needing to use it because of my mistake was a good thing, because I don't know how I would have kept track of where I was. Because right there is where I made my mistake. And that's when I decided to start numbering the days and realized I made a day backwards, so I had to fill it in weird, and yeah. This is probably one of the most complex habit trackers I have tried to make that ended up failing. But I didn't know when I started that it would fail, and things happen. So now it was for my content plan, and this was probably the simplest page in the entire spread, because all I did was the header, because I was unsure what I wanted to include into my content plan. And when I started my sketch for February, I really didn't know what to do, so I'm like, alright, I'll just give myself a page to work on and jot notes for my content that I would need to do. And this is real time instead of sped up like all of the other clips have been in this video so far, of how long it was taking me to draw out the title. Like, yes, I had sketched it in previously, but going in and actually doing the line work, trying to keep it as straight as I could. This is how long it took just to do a header in this style, so. So then it was like the others. I had to color it in, make sure I was following the correct pattern. Camera did not like that it wasn't focused on anything, so that happened. But you know what happens, and you can't always control it. Sometimes cameras have a mind of their own. So this clip is a little sped up, not much, but a little bit, because I don't want this to be an hour-long video. At least not for February. Like, there are some spreads that I did and probably will be doing that might be a little more detailed. So, we'll see. So next was my weekly log, and I made these all very similar, and they ended up being the pipes that Mario can go in and out of, and each pipe was for a specific day. And the way I fit them on the pages worked very well, because then it also gave me like a little extra note section that I could use if I needed it. But yeah, things happen, and sometimes you need that extra space, sometimes you don't. But I just made the pipes, and then on the opening of the pipe I put what day of the week it was and what the number of the day is. And it's very simple and a not so detailed layout, especially for my weeklies. I think what took the longest was just coloring them green and making sure they were all there. So then I just repeated this to last the rest of the month, and I even toyed with trying to do the dates first to see if that would make it easier with coloring it all in. And it kind of worked. But then again, this is something that takes a long time to get done because of how many pages I'm repeating the same pattern on. And with February having 29 days this month, and with how I do my weeks starting on Sunday, it works so that way my last page didn't get fully wasted with only having one day on it. I was starting to get tired while I was doing this, so that's where I was trying to go as fast as I could just to get done and just get all of this color in. So the last section I had to do was my reflection, and I did it the same way as all the others. Probably tired of hearing that by now, but I kept with the lettering pattern and the color pattern I was doing. But for the little decoration element, I ended up using the little hammers that get thrown at Mario because I was just looking for something quick and easy to draw that I could throw in with my header here. I could have done a piranha plant somewhere, but I did not feel like trying to actually draw one, and yeah, I just did not feel like drawing one. So my reflection is quite simple, stuff for the next month, good things that happened, and things that needed improvement. And by this point, I actually had the pattern of colors down a little better, so I knew what order they needed to go in. So I wasn't going back and forth trying to figure out what color is where. So, in all, I did like my Mario theme spread. It was simple, except for the habit tracker. And it would have been used quite a bit, but if health reasons didn't come up, it would have been used. That's all I can truly say. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!